Alright guys, it is Tuesday, June 29, 2021 at 9:46 p.m. Alright guys, so I decided to do a little medley of weather and news in this video. Alright guys, so I came across news saying that there was a storm in South America, and I was like, oh my goodness, we usually don't have satellite images from South America. I must dig up and find the satellite images so I could show, on the video, the storm. So here we go. We got South America, satellite image from NOAA. Look at this. Right here's the storm. Right off Ecuador and Brazil. Let's zoom in a little bit. This is as much as the zoom it goes. Let's see if I can zoom in more with my zoom tool. Alright, look at that. So there's a storm forming for Uruguay and Brazil in South America. Alright. Let's see if I can show a GFS model of it. Alright, we got 994 millibars of low hanging off of South America there. I'm gonna do a couple frames forward. Reaches 1003 millibars, and then it kind of disappears. Then 1015 millibars, and then it turns back to land and vanishes. That's the forecast model. Let me back it up a bit. This is for June 30th. This is as it goes up, June 30th still, then July 1st. Then it turns back inland on July 2nd, and then disappears from the forecast model map. But that's just something cool that I wanted to show you guys. Take a look again at this storm here forming off of South America. Alright, let's take a look at windy. This is what it looks like. Let me zoom in more. This is what it looks like in satellite image from windy.com. The storm off of Uruguay right here, and South America, Brazil up here. Alright, so just wanted to show that that I found pretty cool, an area I usually don't look at when it comes to storms, since I'm mostly concerned with the Caribbean. Just wanted to share that information with you guys. Alright, next. Alright, let's take a look at my channel, Space River News. I am usually, most of the days, I'm posting things here on Space River News 2 on Twitter. At News2River is my handle. Pretty much check me out. I usually, if any news or anything comes out, I usually retweet it first, and then from there I decide to make videos on the channel. Alright, so let's take a look from news from No Falling Angels Allowed. This says DC Council approves bill allowing children to get vaccines without parents consent. It says DC Council approves bill allowing children to get vaccines without parents' consent. Doctors could decide minors age 11 and up are capable of informed consent for their own vaccinations. So that is pretty spooky. To get vaccinated without a parent's consent. Apparently, a DC Council has approved that. Alright, next. From Bob Henson, it's 119.8 degrees Fahrenheit this afternoon in Canada. Again, can't believe I'm saying this, but Lytton is in the process of demolishing Canada's all-time heat record for a third consecutive day, 48.8 Celsius, and climbing. British Columbia heat. Alright. And next, we have what it looks like the 18Z Euro has folded, and the GEFS and shows NRES 97L developing. We will have to see if it stays consistent at the 00Z run, but given recent trends, it makes sense the Euro would fold. So, talking about the ridge of high pressure here has folded. Who knows now what storms could be popping off and headed our way in the Caribbean here. Alright, next, North Korea reports a grave incident related to COVID-19. I found this quite an interesting article from The Hill. Let's take a look at the article. that says North Korea reports a grave incident related to COVID-19. North Korea leader says grave incident related to COVID-19 is putting the safety of its citizens at risk. North Korea leader Kim Jong-un reportedly lashed out at officials during a Politburo meeting on the Workers' Party on Tuesday, South Korean-based news agency Yonhap reporting, citing North Korea's central news agency. Kim accused the officials of neglecting their duties and causing a grave incident that poses a huge crisis for the nation. It's unclear what the incident was. It says by neglecting important decisions of the party in its national emergency antivirus fight in preparation for global health crisis, officials in charge have caused a grave incident that posed a huge crisis to the safety of the nation and its people, the KNCA reporting, according to Yonhap. According to Bloomberg News, Kim said that officials failed to execute important decisions about organizational, scientific, and technological measures amid demand for prolonged national quarantine efforts. The full extent of the COVID-19 pandemic in North Korea is still unclear. North Korea not reported any coronavirus cases or deaths since the pandemic began, according to the data from World Health Organization. So who knows exactly what the crisis is? A lot of stuff doesn't get known about North Korea. Like we haven't had any reports about how COVID is doing in North Korea. They keep a lot of things secret in North Korea. So it's quite interesting to get this article come out. Alright, next. We have Supreme Court rejects request to lift... I can't read it. I guess I gotta refresh the article. Let's see what it says here. Supreme Court rejects request to lift federal ban on evictions. The CDC has imposed an eviction moratorium, saying it has needed to address the coronavirus pandemic. So apparently the Supreme Court on Tuesday has requested to lift the ban on it. Alright, it's telling me that I need to subscribe to read the rest of the article, but I already got a lot of information from it. Alright, next. Historic Northwest heat wave linked to dozens of deaths and hundreds of emergency room visits. Says hundreds of people have visited emergency departments of urgent care clinics in the Pacific Northwest since Friday, and as many as 60 deaths have been reported, as an excruciating heat wave smashed all-time temperature records in Oregon, Washington, and Canada. Portland set record high temperatures 3 days in a row, topping out 116 degrees on Monday. Seattle hit 108 degrees, a new record. At least 2 locations in Washington reached 118 degrees, which if formed could tie the state temperature records that dates back to 1928. And town in southwest Canada registered at temperatures of 117.5 degrees, the highest ever recorded in the country, and are around 48 degrees above what's normal for this time of year. Scientists have told CNN the heat wave is a clear sign of climate crisis, and similar extreme heat events will happen more frequently in the future. Alright. Family members cling to hope for survivors after Surfside condo building collapse. Alright, so families and friends are still clinging to hope that the loved ones may be found alive nearly a week after the collapse from Miami Beach condo building. We're not going to give up, Sally Noriega said, who has been praying for the rescue of their mother-in-law who was in the collapsed Surfside, Florida condominium building last Thursday. We have faith in God above and that if she's still trapped in the rubble, they will find her. The search for survivors entered the 6th day Tuesday. There have been no rescues since Thursday, shortly after Champlain Tower South collapsed into a pile of rubble. So please pray for the families of the Surfside condo buildings in Miami. They're still grieving and still having to deal with the uncertainty of knowing if their families will be found. Alright, next. Nevada pageant winner to become the first transgender Miss USA contestant. Says Kaluna Enriquez, who was crowned Miss Nevada USA on Sunday, will become the first openly transgender woman to compete in Miss USA pageant. With a platform centered on transgender awareness and mental health, Enriquez, 27, bid out 21 other contestants at the South Point Hotel Casino in Las Vegas. Alright. Next, we got San Francisco. We have California bans state travel to 5 states over anti-LGBTQ bigotry. We're in the midst of an unprecedented wave of bigotry and discrimination in this country, and the state of California is not going to support it, he said. Says San Francisco, California added 5 more states, including Florida, to the list of places where the state-funded travel is banned because of laws that discriminate against members of the LGBTQ community, the state attorney general announced on Monday. Democratic Attorney General Bob Bonta added Florida, Arkansas, Montana, North Dakota, and West Virginia to the list that now has 17 states where state employees' travel is forbidden except under limited circumstances. So that's pretty intense coming from California. Alright, next. We have Clarence Thomas says federal laws against marijuana may no longer be necessary. The federal government's current approach is a half and half out regime that simultaneously tolerates and forbids local use of marijuana, the conservative Supreme Court justice wrote. Clarence Thomas, one of the Supreme Court's most conservative justices, said Monday that because of the hodgepodge of federal policies of marijuana, federal laws against its use or cultivation may no longer make sense. A prohibition on interstate use of cultivation of marijuana may no longer be necessary or proper to support the federal government's piecemeal approach. He views that came out of court to decline to hear an appeal of Colorado Medical Marijuana Dispensary that was defined federal tax breaks that other businesses are allowed. Thomas said Supreme Court's ruling in 2005 upholding federal laws making marijuana possession illegal may now be out of date. Federal policies in the past 16 years have greatly undermined its reasoning, he said. The federal government's current approach is a half and half out regime that simultaneously tolerates and forbids local use of marijuana. 36 states now allow medical marijuana use, and 18 also allow recreational use. But federal tax law does not allow marijuana businesses to deduct their business expenses. Alright. And finally we have from Strange Sounds a couple of stories. I'm just going to read the headlines. It says France, residents of Plombières-les-Bains is in shock after extreme storm buries town and streets under feet of hail. So the people in France in Plombières-les-Bains is having extreme storm from hail. Also, Atlantic polar blast brings snow, high wind, huge waves, and bitter cold temperatures to New Zealand. Alright. Also, the energetic eruption of Rincon de la Vieja volcano ejects enormous plumes of ash and smoke 1.2 miles into the sky over Costa Rica. And finally, the ground is cracking up in Mexico City. In Mexico. Huge fissures appear in the Tlaxcala fields, sparking fear. Another large sinkhole is forming. And they have pictures there in the article. I'll leave you the link so you guys can check out these stories. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Hit like and subscribe for more news, and see you guys next time. God bless you guys.